Hello friends, how are you doing today? My name is Mary, this is Happily Ever Esch, and today we are doing just a little library book haul. So I absolutely adore library book hauls. I feel like a couple years ago they were all the rage, and yes, I'm sure there's still lots of people doing them, but I just want to throw mine into the mix. I haven't been frequenting the library as much. I've just been putting things on hold and picking up the books that I need and doing a lot of audiobook listening. I always use my library's resources for that. But I've really been trying to focus on reading books from my shelf this year, so I haven't been just perusing the library as much as I have in the past. But tonight, or last night, it is not nighttime as you can see, daylight, but last night I stopped by the library, I had some holds, and I had a few minutes to myself, so I thought, why not? Let's peruse, and I picked up a few little things that I'd like to share with you guys. All right, let's start with chatting books and things, items really, because the library isn't just books, but things that I had on hold. So the first, I have gotten on a movie hold kick. I haven't watched one of them, but I sure have liked putting them on hold and then getting them into my house. And the next movie that was on my list is Casablanca. I have never seen this movie, I know, for shame, but this is one that I would love to see. My husband and I went to a little like independent movie theater in the town that we live in, and they were advertising that they were going to be showing this for Valentine's Day, and I was like, oh, Casablanca, I want to see that for Valentine's Day. So I put it on hold, and I'm just not getting it, but maybe we'll have a Valentine's Day date in March and watch Casablanca. I've really been trying to find movies that I think my husband and I would both enjoy, and I think just a classic film can definitely be something that we would both love. So yes, I was excited to when that came finally in on hold. And then my next hold is the audiobook that I'm listening to, but just wanted the physical copy because sometimes I like to shuffle in between the two, and that's Anne of the Island by Ellen Montgomery. Absolutely adoring this. It's just cozy, enveloping, warm. I'm about a little over half the way through. I really like these cutout editions as well. So I have the first one in this edition, so this is a fun to get to hold it and flip through the pages and go back and read some quotes that I really like. So yes, loving this book currently. I'm participating in an along. I will link the creators down below in case you are interested. I'll also put the Goodreads group in case you're interested in joining along. It's a lot of fun. All right, and then I perused the middle grade section because I'm just in a middle grade state of mind right now. And there were lots of books that I wanted that weren't there, which is probably nice because I didn't need to add any more to my stack. But three that I picked up. The first is The War I Finally Won by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. It's the sequel to... what is the sequel? The War That Saved My Life, yes, which I own. I plan to read this month, and so I just wanted to be prepared in case I loved it and just needed to hop on into the second one. So I picked this one up. I really love the artwork on these covers. I think they're lovely, and yes, I'm really hoping I enjoy it and can just go on and finish the little duology. The next book, which was the pick for middle grade March, the group read last year. And that is Sweep, the story of a girl and her monster. And I was invigorated to pick this up watching April over at Getting Hygge with It's March TBR video, or her vlog, or there's a couple videos that she talks about this book and just the way she went on and gushed. It was one that I knew I wanted to read, but I thought, maybe sooner rather than later. This is about a girl chimney sweep, and it's got a lot of social commentary, the horrible working conditions of children in kind of turn of the 1900s, but there's also some magical bits to it, some Jewish folklore. So yes, lots of delicious things. The cover just lovely, and I'm pretty excited to pick this guy up. Another middle grade that I don't know why I couldn't help myself, but I couldn't help myself, and that's A Year Down Yonder by Richard Peck. I think it was because I saw this and knew that I had at one point owned it or held it in my hand as a child and just needed the nostalgia factor of getting it. It's a short little guy, but I think it's a sequel to a book that I haven't read, A Long Way from Chicago, which was a Newbery Honor book, and this was the medal winner. So I don't know, I need to do a little more research to see if you must read the books in order, if it's kind of like you could read one first and then the second and it would be fine. So, but it's a short little guy, and I was like, I could read that in a sitting. So I go to the middle grade section, I see lots of books that I didn't read as a middle grader but was very familiar with, and I'm like, I just want to hold you and have you in my possession for a little bit of time. So that was definitely this pick. All right, and then here is where I, you know, grabbed the kiosk staff pick books. So one is a graphic novel that I've been very interested in reading for quite a while, and that is March, book 1 by John Lewis, and then the authors are, not the authors, I'm sorry, the artist, Andrew Aiden and Nate Powell. John Lewis was a United States representative who was a huge proponent of civil rights, was very involved in the civil rights movement, which is what this graphic memoir story is about. But yeah, I think he's a very smart, intelligent, and did a lot of good work in our country, and I want to read his book, and it was sitting right there and I couldn't help but pick it up, and I think this will be a great one to squeeze in when I just need to finish a book, feel good about it, but also learn a lot. I know that there's other books in this series, like nonfiction series, I think 2 or 3. So yes, I definitely want to read them all. And yeah, just kind of a way to honor John Lewis and his life. So there's this little pick. And then one for sweet baby Judah, or I guess toddler Judah now. He's a year old, and that's 8. Oh yes, 8 Little Planets. It's actually right. It doesn't have Pluto, so this must have been a newer published one. But it just looked fun. He's really in, so I don't know if you can tell, but this is like a cutout. That's just thrilling him right now. Any kind of book that has a different texture to it, and it was just cute. It was just cute, and ooh, yeah, I think it'll be a fun one. We'll be able to point out and talk about different things, and he's getting much more into reading, sitting down and reading books, so thought that this was a fun one. All right, that's my little library book haul. I'm very pleased with it. I'd love to know what you are checking out recently. Have you randomly picked some stuff up? What does your holds list look like? Let's talk libraries, shall we? I just love them. So thanks so much for watching. I hope that you all are having a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Does anyone else feel personally victimized sometimes by like the staff picks or like the little kiosk type things? Like, raise your hand. Yes, like they always get me, gosh darn it. And I know it's free and I can take it back, but it's like, I don't need you, but I want you, and you're here and you're beautiful, and